Brothers, if you look up the word plastic or disingenuous in the dictionary, you may very well find a picture of David Pakman. He is somebody who from the first has been obsessed with numbers, optics. Well, I'm not really going to debate somebody who's a smaller channel than me. This is a guy that has gone on record saying that he only wants to debate people who are bigger than him in order to help him grow. Not really interested in the conversation or anything authentic or anything genuine, just simply more money on me, more money on me, more eyeballs on me, more money on me. These phony, fake, plastic content creator freaks that will pump and peddle any type of bullshit imaginable. Any type of bullshit imaginable. Look at this guy's channel. I'm gonna pull it up. Real quick. Look at this channel. They want us to shut up. White House furious about health crisis. So, the Democrats made up one of the biggest and most outrageous lies. We haven't seen Trump in a couple days, so Trump is dead. And they start creating AI videos of Trump being wheeled out of the White House in a stretcher. They start making up these claims that Trump is dead. Now, if you look up ChatGPT, how many days did we go in a row without saying Biden? I think the record is like 43. This fucking mongoloid, homosexual-looking freak, this dishonest plastic beta male, had no problem with that. No. Joe Biden is perfectly fine. He's perfectly mentally alert. What did Joe Scarborough say? Oh no, I've known Joe Biden for 50 years and this is the best and sharpest he's ever been. The left created a fiction that Donald Trump died and they were gleeful about it because homosexual freaks like this spend their entire time calling Trump a Nazi, calling him a fascist, calling him every name in the book. Orange and very wrong. Donald Trump is panicking. Disaster for Trump. Ripped to shreds. These people live in a bubble, and then they do videos like this. I hate to admit this, guys. Guys, I'm David Pakman, and I hate to admit this, but it seems like the left hasn't learned their lesson. They play into the game that defeats the left, and then they try to come out as the one that understands the problem. And guys, let's be honest here. When we lost in the 2024 election, no one really did the due diligence. No one really did the due diligence in the Democrat Party, and they don't understand why we lost. You lost because your ideas are shit. You want to know why people go on the Sunday shows, David Pakman, you low IQ degenerate retard that is obsessed with your own image and optics? It's because their ideas get obliterated when they're not protected, when they're not edited. When Kamala Harris doesn't go on 60 Minutes and they edit the interview to make her seem cogent when she has to be there on her own, talking about her ideas, she gets eviscerated. You people on the left get eviscerated because your ideas are shit. They're failures every time they've tried, everywhere they're tried. You are degenerates. You are disgusting. You are vile, foul, unctuous, cretinous people that do not represent the majority of what America is. That's why you have to import third worlders in order to try to convince them to vote for you. That's why the Democrat Party are the biggest cheaters in politics. Try to mass import people illegally or legally and get them in their sanctuary states so that you can overinflate your numbers. Oh man, it's unconstitutional to ask if you're an American citizen on the census. My fucking ass. So that you can get more seats in Congress. You know it's fucking true, you homosexual snake. And people like you play these dirty games and you pretend not to understand this. You play dumb when it's convenient, and then you just look at your timeline. You look at your timeline. It's Trump, 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 Trump. You're not Dave Pakman. You're a Trump reaction channel. That's all you are. Trump, 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 Trump. Caught in a scam. He collapsed. Pressure cracks Trump. And then you wonder why you failed, because these are all fucking lies. These are all lies. You lie to people and then wonder why they don't keep coming back. You are a channel with 3.31 million subscribers, and look at your fucking viewership. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You use clickbait and rage bait to get people in. You have no credibility. None. Zero. And you want to sit here and play these games about, oh, Trump disappeared for 3 days. Is he alive? Yeah, we're gonna watch this video. But I really wanted to elucidate who and what this freak is, this homosexual homunculus, this guy that represents the left so perfectly. A disfigured, ugly homunculus who is obsessed with money and clout and attention rather than the truth. This guy who every other video is a Trump video. I don't think every other video. Every video, it seems, is about Trump. Trump is bad. Trump is wrong. And then you wonder why nobody watches you. Nobody respects you. Nobody pays attention to you because you're doing the same thing as everyone else. And it's failing, but you're too stupid and too pathetic to adapt. And realize, hey, maybe mindlessly making things up about Trump, maybe that's not going to work.
Trump alive right now? I don't think I'm asking the question literally. I mean, he probably
Is your channel alive?
is. But where is Trump? Donald Trump has not been seen publicly for 3 days on video since that disaster cabinet meeting from Tuesday.
The cabinet meeting was amazing. Like, these people, these fake plastic people, I was going to say fecal. Yeah, these fecal. Legal Eagle, David Pakman. I mean, there's so many of these people. They're so generic. They're so fake. They're so interchangeable. They're so dishonest. You could replace one for the other. But that disastrous cabinet meeting. The cabinet meeting was amazing. It was fantastic. But you don't see Trump over a weekend and suddenly Trump is dead. And they're celebrating. These people are fucking evil.
I put out a tweet. I put out a a Blue Sky post, a Substack note earlier.
Of course you're on Blue Sky. Yes. And of course you do that because that's engagement for me, because you're playing into the game that Trump has died. You wanted to be in on that. You wanted the clicks and the clout from that. You wanted to play the game that maybe Trump has died because you're a ghoul. And I know that people like you, because you don't have an ounce of honor and integrity, you try to do a whataboutism. Well, Brandon Herrera once said something about Joe Biden dying, and this context that's completely different from what I'm talking about. But that means it's okay when I do. No, it's not. You people use these justifications because you're evil and you're wrong. And you try to create these scapegoats in order to allow you to behave in this absolutely unconscionable and evil way. And that is how the left continues to operate in this demonic hell zone, and yet somehow think that they're angels. You are a tribe of pathetic, deranged, mentally ill people that don't even know what a woman is. And you're seeking to try to lecture people about politics and economics. David Pakman, I wouldn't trust you to run a hot dog stand. I wouldn't trust you with anything. You're a liar. And once you've lied about one thing, once you've established that you're not trustworthy, you can't be trusted on anything.
Saying, has anyone seen Donald Trump on video over the last 3 days? I looked through all of the replies and there is no video of Donald Trump from the last 3 days. The White House put out a tweet with a picture of Trump in the Oval Office because of some new knick-knack or tchotchke that they have in there. But of course, that picture could be from any time. Donald Trump's Truth Social account put out a couple of
So I just want to keep you all up to date. David Pakman's conspiracy theory is that because he hadn't seen Trump on camera for a couple days, I think it was like 2 days, his theory is, where's Trump? Is Trump gone? Oh, the White House posted a picture of Trump. Well, that could be from any time. Just making up these conspiracy theories out of nowhere. And the irony is that the left were the ones that were trying to gaslight the right for pointing out that Joe Biden was a brain-dead vegetable. Do not ever forget that these people played this game and put this country at risk by pretending that Joe Biden was mentally coherent, and they ran him as if he would be able to serve another 4 years. Never forget that. Never forget who and what these people are. Never. Not for an instant. They do not have the moral high ground. They do not have the intellectual high ground. These people are inferior in every conceivable way because they're dishonest, they're disreputable, they lie as easily as they breathe, and they have to make things up about people because the things that they think in their head, they can't prove about Trump. Trump's a fascist, he's a dictator. Well, the majority of people don't think that way. Obviously, because he got elected by a vast majority of the American people. Popular vote, electoral college, duly elected, but these people call him a fascist and a dictator because they have nothing else. The most superficial, vapid, inferior-minded people I've ever seen. It is so pathetic. You have to listen to what these people are actually saying. You have to look between the lines. You have to go to this guy's channel and look at the videos, and then you begin to understand. And over here is a recommendation for Legal Eagle with content that is identical. I may do a reaction to this. These people are interchangeable widgets, and then they wonder why doesn't anyone watch me? Because you're inauthentic, you're unoriginal, you're uninteresting, you're boring, you're bland, and you lie. You lie a lot. That's why people don't like you. Why do you think people gravitate to my channel? Because I'm honest. And there are people that disagree with me on certain things, and they voice those disagreements, and we have a conversation about it. I don't care what their subscriber count is, David. I don't care how big or small they are. You do. Because I know plenty of people that would absolutely eviscerate you in a debate. And in fact, your debate style, David, is one of the most pathetic things that I've ever seen. Genuinely. You are not a debater. I think that's why you avoid debates, is because you know your ideas would get absolutely vivisected in an argument with, say, someone like Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson, oh my God, that would be brutal. That would have to be like a pay-per-view fight. You know, they wouldn't throw a single punch, but they may have to wheel you out on an ambulance. Like that is how devastating that sort of debate would be. Because you are ill-equipped to do what you're doing. Trump is missing for days. Biden was missing for months.
Posts. Of course, these could have been written by anybody, and at least one of them strangely uses the M dash, typically associated with ChatGPT writing. Another one uses the word literally, not something that Donald Trump does in his Truth Social posts. And then we have news of...
That's not true. So you have a conspiracy theory based on this mentally ill derangement about Trump. So Trump could be dead because there's a post over the weekend and you say, well, this person used a dash and Trump doesn't use a dash. This person used the word literally, but Trump doesn't use the word literally. That's literally retarded, David. You are a liar. You are a fraud. You are doing this for views because the truth is, David, you can't get views any other way. We both know it.
The temporary flight restriction, known as a TFR. Donald Trump was scheduled to fly to New Jersey tonight to deliver some remarks. A TFR was filed with air traffic control And then the TFR was canceled, which suggests that Donald Trump is not going, even though nothing publicly as of this moment has been said as to why he's not going or why this has been canceled. This is all fueling speculation. Where is Donald Trump at this point in time? We have now had weeks of growing concern about Donald Trump's health, of course, some dubbing him Cankle's Caligula because of the swollen ankles. He then had bruises on his right hand, which he covered up with very obvious makeup, and we were told it's because of vigorous handshaking. He's shaking so many people's hands, but then bruises appeared on his left hand as well. Trump doesn't shake hands with his left hand. So this is not about conspiracy. This is not about, I have reason to believe Trump is dead. This is about circumstances where we normally do see the guy usually every day, at least every other day. It's been 3 days, no video, TFR canceled, Truth Social posts that look strange, all in the context of growing concern about Donald Trump's health.
It's not concern. It's not concern. No, you people are not compassionate or empathetic. No, you want Donald Trump dead. You want Donald Trump dead. That's what you want. That's what you always wanted. But you see, what you don't understand is that Donald Trump is a half measure. He is. A lot of you people on the left don't understand that Donald Trump is a half measure. And what comes after Trump? You have no idea. I'm not talking Hitler. Because, he wants a fascist Hitler. No. No, that's not happening again. But something different is going to come. And you see the younger generation. They're more Christian. They're more right-wing. Good. Because what the left has done to the world, not just this country, but the world for the last 20, 30, 40 years is absolutely disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And people are tired of it.
What's going on? What do you...
So this is the video that David Pakman put out. Thankfully, it's short. But it's just pondering. Oh, yeah, Donald Trump has all these health things, and so now he must be dead. Yeah.
The White House is losing it over the growing conversation.
Yeah, Democrats make up a lie that Donald Trump is dead. They make up a lie that he's dead, and they celebrate, and they really push this out there like it's real. And they go with it like, oh, God, this is a legitimate concern. The Trump is dead, as people are celebrating. And they want to frame it like, oh, the White House is freaking out. What I think is obvious is that people like David Pakman, these are not true believers in the left. These are people that are smart enough to be able to look at the room. Oh, don't get me wrong. There may be some things that he truly believes in that are absolutely repugnant and retarded and pathetic. But people like David Pakman read the room. And whatever he has to say, in order to get money, in order to get views from the left, he will say, and he will do. He will pretend to be on board with all this stuff. He's not going to be the guy with the courage to push back and say, guys, this is ridiculous. This is beneath us. But what he will do is he will engage in all of the stuff from the left, all of the most radical shit. And then he'll also come out and do videos. He'll do videos like this.
And the president...
I hate to admit this, guys. This video is all about David Pakman saying, guys, the Democrats didn't learn from the 2024 election. They didn't learn from it. And they don't understand what I understand. And I'm going to tell you where Democrats went wrong. And then, right after that, he does another video, another video, another video, another video, demonstrating why the left lost. Why they lost. Because they're liars. And they're inauthentic. And they're fake. And they're phony. And it's ridiculous. It's unreal.
The White House is losing it over the growing conversation in the media about Donald Trump's health. They want it to stop right away. Michael Wolff has been reporting on Donald Trump for years. He has a very interesting scoop. Insiders at the White House, the Caroline Levitts and others, they are furious about the attention that the media is finally giving. And it took long enough, didn't it? To the weird bruising on Trump's hands, to the swollen ankles, to the cognitive slips. We are finally getting some discussion of it, and the White House isn't happy. Listen to this.
Michael, what are you hearing about Donald Trump's health? I did notice the extra bruise and the photograph that the White House put off, the official photograph they put.
The last people in the world that I would ever trust to talk about Donald Trump is somebody that looks like her,
out with him and the South Korea,
and Baldy over here that looks like him.
And they cut him off at the ankle so we couldn't see his ankle spilling over.
Michael Wolff. This guy is one of the most discredited and disgraced authors, agitators, and bad faith actors. And yet David Pakman is trying to give him credibility because he doesn't like Trump. It's unreal. These people sit there and they go, well, we just want the truth about the cognitive ability of Trump and his physical health. You did not give a shit about Biden's cognitive ability and his health for years. You are playing dirty games because you know that Trump is effective. And you know that he's implementing an agenda that you freaks don't want because you're anti-American. You're anti-American. You are demonic. You're degenerate. What you believe in is this sort of atheistic, degenerate, disgusting sludge society that is built around decadence and materialism and hedonism and homosexuality and all of this depravity and abortions on demand. The world that you live in is filth, and it is gross, and it is disgusting. And thankfully, we now have a president that's doing something about it. Deportations, restoring tradition and order to the military and these institutions. It's going to take some time to clean the filth from you freaks from the halls of power. It's going to take probably another 10 years. And hopefully they get somebody in there who's a true conservative, a true Christian, to purge all of the disgusting shit that you guys have wormed into culture. There needs to be a chemotherapy to get you guys out of the carpet and out of the furniture. Your stink is going to linger on, but eventually, hopefully, with the younger generation becoming more conservative and more Christian, hopefully we can get it done.
The only thing that I'm hearing about his health is everyone is irritated that people are focusing on his health. I mean, the people around him. Because, and actually this makes some sense, what they see is Donald Trump always moving ahead. A man who doesn't stop, inexhaustible.
Inexhaustible. Well, he feels inexhaustible. But he doesn't.
On the other hand, they acknowledge one day he will just go over.
They say that?
Yeah.
How interesting. That's their perspective, that he will just keel over. He's going to
they
keep
have no
going.
The idea that he will fade, that he will become sick, that he will be mortal in that way that we all are, they actually don't accept. He will stop at one point.
I see that.
Will be it.
I see that because he does have still an enormous amount of energy. As we talked in our last time together, he has inexhaustible ability to speak.
And he is that, because he is from another age. I mean, when I grew up, people would say, what happened? Oh, he dropped dead.
Right.
In my mind, I always had that walking along the street, boom, gone.
Well, interestingly, that didn't happen to Jeffrey Epstein. There is so much in the Ghislaine Maxwell transcript. I read it cover to cover on a flight on the way back, frantically, sort of Jon Stewart-like, making comments all over it. But one of the things that I was most interested by, pruriently I will say, is the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell unreliable narrator, says that Jeffrey Epstein couldn't really have sex. So this is a sex story with
Absolutely.
two people who can't
two
have
things.
sex.
Before we go there, exactly, I think we should go to the top line on this, which is what she delivered for Donald Trump.
Okay, so we've discussed that part before, but so the point here is, the White House is not happy with the discussion of Donald Trump's health. And we've seen the White House try to kind of stage manage this.
So David Pakman's evidence, all of his evidence, is an outsider who is not friendly with the Trump administration, doesn't have insider access at the Trump administration, a guy who's an outsider, a Trump hater, an opportunist, a perpetual liar. That's his source. That's it. That one bit is all that David Pakman needed in order to make this video and peddle more Trump derangement syndrome. That was it. And then they wonder why the left loses. You peddle conspiracy theories. You peddle lies, misrepresentations, distortions, and DEI. And diversity, equity, and inclusion is not popular anymore. So, David Pakman is one of the, not the most, but one of the most pathetic worms in the content creator space, and he embodies everything that's wrong with commentary politics. And that's all I got to say about that. I hope you had a great day, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all the support. It means more than you can know. And I'll see you next time.